Old workers nurse their wounded pride with discounted booze and sliders at restaurants eager to capitalize on the unrest. The series finale of Breaking Bad is still all anyone wants to talk about. No meth for you. And the most popular song right now is probably sung by Miley Cyrus. Wrecking Ball would be appropriate politically, don't you think? Just click the hashtag shutdown on Twitter and scroll through the dread-laced zingers about kids who can't get their cancer treatment in hurricanes that won't be monitored. Tommy Boy star Chris Farley is long dead. Newt Gingrich is back on television. Malcolm Gladwell is a rich author, not a newspaper journalist. Babies born during this current shutdown, all the Sophias and Ethans and Olivias and Noahs, will become adults in 2031. Don't worry, babies. In this far, not-so-distant future, the 47th, 48th, 49th, and the 102nd and the 122nd U.S. Congress, the 47th, 48th, 49th President, and the 122nd U.S. Congress will have learned about past mistakes. They will know about responsibility, duty, and friendship, and they'll be working together, not against each other, right? As if. So, we'll see. And finally, one more thing I wanted to talk about before I finish this segment of my monologue for today, which I lovingly call my Bruce Williams segment, is in regards to a statement a friend of mine wrote on Facebook this morning, in which he was commenting about fiscal responsibility. And for a while I've been kind of hesitant to bring it up, but our government does need to get more fiscally responsible. You know, we just can't go around writing blank checks and hoping that they'll be cashed, because as we have seen, that's not always the case, you know. And so what my friend wrote was, just bear with me for just a moment. Cord Harper wrote this on his Facebook this morning. Will raising the debt limits by another $1 trillion fix the problem? By the way, the new debt ceiling will only get us through another year. We have to stop borrowing money and begin paying down the debt. Unfortunately, this means serious budget cuts to get our deficit spending down to a balanced budget. It will have to involve social programs such as health care expenditures and the massive defense spending, along with nearly everything else. Take a good hard look at this and set politics aside for a moment. Which individuals elected to be responsible leaders for our country are actually trying to address the real problem? Eventually, the people who are loaning us the money are going to realize that it's unsustainable and that the country will have no ability to repay the trillions of dollars in debt. That's the default we should all truly fear, because that means global economic depression and chaos. All right. And that takes care of my monologue for today. And coming up in just a few moments, after this quick break, I'll have news headlines along with the national weather forecast from the Weather Channel, the Kirksville, Missouri area weather forecast, plus a whole lot more along with the CBS World News Roundup. And coming up next, though, it'll be trends, things you need to know on this Wednesday. So stick around, my friends. You are listening to First Cup, and I'm Joe Haffner, stalling for time. I'm trying to remember what I did with all my commercials. So we'll put that over here, and then we will go up here and load that there. And then we'll take this one out. This is where I really need a board operator, but then I'd have to give cues as about what to do. Okay, so we'll be right back after these quick messages.
I was just finishing my 199th picture. Never felt better in my life, and I said to myself, when this is finished, I'm going out on my boat. And then I got nagged into going for a medical checkup. They found a spot on the x-rays. It was lung cancer. If I'd waited a few more weeks, I wouldn't be here now. That's me 7 years after surgery, in true grit. because I did myself a favor and got a checkup. So why don't all of you do yourselves a favor? Get a checkup. Talk someone you like into getting a checkup. Nag someone you love into getting a checkup. And while you're at it, send a check to the American Cancer Society, too. It's great to be alive.
Hi, friends. Before I return you to the latest episode of First Cup, I want to help you with your Christmas gift shopping plans. Do you have someone special on your list who is hard to shop for? Or are they interested in unique, one-of-a-kind gift items? Then Wishing Stars Native Creations is your answer. My dear friend Chris Mayer has been making Native American jewelry for several years and is ready to help you give that special someone in your life a one-of-a-kind gift. Just go to www.facebook.com/Wishing Stars Native Creations. That's facebook.com/Wishing Stars Native Creations. It's all one word. Wishing Stars Native Creations. Go there today and find out how Chris can help you. She accepts several forms of payment too, including money orders and PayPal.
I'd like to drop out of high school and get a meaningless job that makes me feel bad about myself.
I'd like to fall victim to the old boys network.
I don't want anybody to notice me.
I just want to fly under the radar.
I want to splatter against the glass ceiling.
I don't have an opinion.
I want to be a straight C student.
I'm going to be a biomedical engineer. I want to succumb to peer pressure all of my life.
I'm going to be a best-selling author and win the National Book Award.
I'm going to be a marine biologist.
Wait, I take mine back. I'm going to be a biomedical engineer.
I think I'll be the president.
I'm going to be Secretary of State.
World-class chef, right here.
Race car driver.
Artist. Paleontologist.
Film director.
Surgeon. Teacher. Scientist. Olympian.
I'm going to be the boss.
Welcome back to Studio 26 on this Wednesday afternoon. Yes, another brunch edition of First Cup. And hope your Wednesday is treating you well. And still to come, as I said, we'll have news headlines in just a moment, along with the weather forecast, which includes a look at the Kirksville, Missouri area weather forecast. Right now, though, we're going to find out things you need to know on the segment we like to call Things You Need to Know, Trends.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Don't tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Don't tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I wanna really, really, really wanna zig a zig.
Open Gangnam Style.
And now, things you need to know on this Wednesday, the 9th day of October 2013. It's Leif Erikson Day, Viking explorer who is believed to be the first recorded Nordic person to have visited the area that is now the United States of America. It is also Fire Prevention Day, and South Carolina State Fair runs from now through October 20th. That's a week from Sunday in Columbia, South Carolina. In news attack, the TSA now allows people with marijuana to board planes, but you have to share with the pilot. Apple will soon unveil new iPads. That's coming up on October 22nd. Apple is expected to unveil the newest updates to its iPad line on October 22nd. Apple will likely introduce the 5th generation iPad and the 2nd generation mini iPad mini. Sources say the 5th generation iPad will feature a thinner, lighter design similar to that of the iPad mini. And are you wanting to know the cure for a hangover? Well, don't drink. No, seriously, folks. Seems that the best cure for a hangover, according to a team of Chinese scientists drinking sake from Japan, found that in tests on 57 drinks, that Sprite performed the best in relieving the alcohol-related symptoms. So if you're having a scotch on water, make sure you down it with some Sprite instead. And finally, Grand Theft Auto 5 shattered the Guinness Book of World Records. The Guinness Book of World Records said yesterday that Grand Theft Auto 5, or V, had broken 7 records, including the record for fastest-selling video game, franchise and fastest-selling entertainment franchise. And what are consumers using each day? Well, the percentage of general consumers who are using the following every day include the TV, which is by 85% of us, 80% radio, 60% internet, 36% email, 29% social networking, apps at 25%, print at 25%, and tablets, which I assume means tablet computers, at 9%. And that, my friends, are the things that you need to know for this Wednesday. In the meantime, let's get the latest in news, shall we? So let me pull up my news headlines here, and we'll be set to go. All right, it is simple as that. So let me close this page and then load this one. And paging Paul Harvey here to the newsroom. Oh, Paul.
Hello, Americans. This is Paul Harvey. Stand by for news.
And take a look at the latest in news headlines that I have for you at this point in time. Couple donates millions to fund Head Start during the shutdown. President Obama said yesterday at a press conference that Republican congressional leadership should end the government shutdown, extend the debt ceiling, even for a short time, and then he said he'll negotiate. He said Republicans can set the agenda of the negotiations. Meanwhile, House Speaker Bob Boehner, a Republican, and the president had a conversation yesterday, but to no avail. Boehner said he is disappointed that the president will not negotiate. Families of fallen soldiers outraged by lack of burial benefits in the shutdown. Because of the government shutdown, families of fallen U.S. soldiers and service members are not receiving the burial benefits typically allocated to them by the federal government. These funds, $100,000, also known as the death gratuity, are given to the families of service members within 3 days of death. The money helps families pay for travel expenses to meet the casket, funeral expenses, and burial expenses. 17 service members have died this month so far, and their families have had to go without the benefits. And an undercover cop charged in SUV attack. An undercover New York police detective was arrested yesterday on charges of riot and criminal mischief after surrendering himself to police. He was part of an attack that made national news when a motorcycle gang pulled an SUV driver from his car and then beat him. Several say after the incident, he came forward and told police he was present and working undercover, but not directly involved. He was, however, caught on film smashing the back window of the SUV and then driving off. And that's a look at news headlines for this Wednesday. Okay. Now we're going to take a look at the nationwide weather forecast and take just a moment to find it here. And instead of me stumbling through it, have somebody from the National Weather Service to present us the weather forecast. And then right after that, I'll have the Kirksville area, Missouri weather forecast for you in a few seconds. So stand by for that. We're going to listen to this together. I have no idea what's in store.
Hi everyone, I'm meteorologist Julie Martin with a look at your national forecast for this Wednesday. Temperature-wise, just gorgeous here in the Midwest. In fact, we're going to look at 70s from Minneapolis to Chicago and Louisville, 80s here in the South. Cool conditions along the West Coast in LA and San Francisco. We'll see 60s and rain. And we're also looking at 60s on the East Coast where we have another storm system that is going to be bringing quite a bit of rain to places like the Delmarva Peninsula, up through New Jersey and Virginia. So on Thursday, there's that system still hugging the coast here. We'll see 60 in New York, 58 in Washington. Nice in Florida, still at 87 degrees. Still pleasant here in the Midwest with those 70s as well. And a bit of a warm up here along the West Coast, finally, after a couple of cool and chilly days. Friday, our next storm system starts to get cranking a little bit more in the plains. So after this comes out over the Rockies, we could see some severe weather on the front side of that in the plains. Temperatures still holding in the Midwest. In Chicago Friday at 75. We'll see 77 in Atlanta. Gorgeous here in Florida at 86 degrees. Friday on the East Coast, still dealing with the lingering impacts of that coastal storm. Keeping temperatures pretty consistent, though, at 64 degrees, and we've got 70s along the West Coast. That's a look at your national forecast.
And now